something else you want to ask or bring to the conversation?
The exclusivity chat. Because so like I feel like with dating, especially in London, I feel like if you don't have that chat with the guy, then they're like free to date other women, do what they want, and you could be dating them regularly and essentially in what seems like you're in a relationship, but because you haven't had that chat with them, they're allowed to sleep with other women, date other women, and I've seen it happen to like a few friends where that's been the case, and it's like they've, what I would say is cheated on them, but because they didn't have that exclusivity chat, it's okay. They're fine to do it.
So I guess I would ask, why would you think you're in a relationship with him if you've not had that conversation?
Because you're meeting up regularly, you're going on dates with each other, you're having quite deep conversations, you've been intimate with each other, you're doing everything that you would do in a relationship. You just haven't had the chat about whether you're girlfriend and boyfriend.
But isn't that chat pretty important to establish that?
I guess, but I also feel like men never actually have that chat. It's always the woman that has to like bring it up.
Yeah, for sure it is.
Yeah. And I personally would want the guy to bring it up and say, I want you to be my girlfriend.
Yeah.
I don't want to be like, can you be my boyfriend?
Yeah, I get that. Because you want the responsibility to be on him. The reason it naturally happens this way is because women are the gatekeepers to physical intimacy, but men are the gatekeepers to commitment. So the equivalent, I get what you're saying, but the equivalent would be like a guy going, hey, if she is open to sleeping with me, I want her to try and seduce me. I want her to try and make me feel comfortable, and I want her to make all the moves to then have sex. Right? That's the equivalent of what you're asking for.
Yeah.
So it is very much natural that, it's the woman that would bring this, because for him, if he can be dating you, spending time with you, but he's still going anywhere else, that's a really good deal in a guy's head.
Yeah.
So until you have that conversation, because technically he's not doing anything wrong. Sure, it's not nice. But if he's not promised to be exclusive to you, then you can't really expect it. And this is something that I generally will always say. Until he has told you that he is exclusive to you, always assume that he's open to dating other women, because he probably is.
Yeah. So how do you feel about is it the 90-day rule, I think, or the 3-month thing where you don't have sex with the guy for the first 3 months of dating? What do you think of that?
I think that 20 years ago, that might have worked. I don't think that's going to work this year now.
Yeah.
Because we live in a sexual liberated society where people will sleep together within 30 minutes, right? Well, I was literally telling you a story about a guest who came on and she said that. But people will sleep together from the first day, within the first month. So a lot of guys will take it as, if you don't want to be intimate, that's fine, but you're probably just not interested in me.
But then I've also heard that you should never sleep with a guy on the first date.
No, you shouldn't.
Why? Well, because what if it just happens, like there's that spark and chemistry and one thing leads to another?
Okay,
sometimes
but it doesn't happen by
help
accident.
It.
You
can. But you're having so much fun with them and it just,
Yeah, you're going to need to exercise some self-discipline, yeah. You're absolutely right.
But why is it, so if you do have sex with them on the first date, what does that make a guy think of you?
It makes him think that it is easy for other guys to get sexual access to you. And that is a bad quality in a long-term partner for a guy. That's the way it comes across.
Yeah.
Now, that may not be the case, but if he doesn't know you, we're talking about the first date, right?
Yeah.
If he doesn't know you, that's the impression it gives.
Interesting.
It's different if he already knows you from like circles.
Yeah, like you were friends before or whatever, yeah.
Right? Like he's already known you, he kind of knows how you move.
Yeah.
And now you've just started dating and then do it. That's different because he knows you. So it's like, okay, I know that she is selective.
Yeah.
But I'm just the guy that she has selected.
Yeah.
But if he doesn't know you, it just paints the impression that... Because the thing is, guys also assume that you're dating other guys until you say you're exclusive.
Okay, yeah.
Right? Like, because he's like, okay, well, if I think you're gorgeous and I've asked you out, Other guys are going to ask
yeah,
you out.
Yeah.
And if we're not in a relationship, why would I assume that you would say no to at least being open to going on a date with someone else?
Yeah.
So if we've been dating for a couple of months,
Yeah.
we're not exclusive, but we slept together on the first day.
Yeah.
And I assume you would have been at least 2 or 3 other dates since we've met. Why would I not think that you haven't slept with those guys?
Yeah.
That's how guys see it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But equally, just waiting 90 days, for most guys, that is not going to... Let me rephrase. If he is a guy who you would consider attractive and desirable, it's not going to work. Because there are other women that he will date who will be physical, intimate, and show that interest.
Yeah.
But if he's a guy that really doesn't get a lot of opportunity with women in that sense, then maybe he'll wait because he's like, well, I've got this one, right?
But if he's really into you, surely he should be okay with waiting.
No, because just because he's into you doesn't mean you're into him. And
what if you've expressed that you are into him?
Actions speak louder than words. Because how many times have guys been like, oh, I see us doing this, all of this stuff, and then it just never becomes something. And when it comes down to commitment, when it comes down to being exclusive, when it comes down to doing the things that he said was going to happen, it just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So because men and women show their investment differently, right? Women show their investment through their sexual time, but men show their investment through their non-sexual time. So the example I give is like, if I ask you, who do you think the guy is taking more seriously in this scenario? You have girl A, where he spends a weekend with her, they go for a walk, they read a book together, but nothing physical actually happens. Or you have girl B, he goes around her house Friday night, they sleep together, and he leaves the following morning.
A.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Now, if we flip it, who do you think the girl is actually taking more seriously? The guy who she spends a weekend with, they go for walks, maybe he helps her move some stuff, but she's not physical with him. Or the guy, she goes out with Friday night, they spend the night together, and then she leaves the following morning.
Second one. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because women show their investment through their sexual time.
Yeah.
Men show their investment through their non-sexual time. Right? The time that he's not having sex with you, the time that where sex isn't even on the table.
Yeah.
So if you have a guy who's dating a girl and she's not showing any of that sexual, physical investment, he's just going to be like, she's not into me. Equally, and this is what I say for women, right? If you have a guy who he might be sleeping with you, but if he's not spending time with you outside the bedroom, if he's not spending time with you where sex is off the table, he's not investing in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's not serious about you.
Yeah.
Or he's not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Now that's not saying as a woman, like, oh, you have to have sex with a guy at a certain point. But there's something that I call, you can have sexual pacing, sexual progression. So you could be still being physical, but maybe you're not having sex. So you could be affectionate and holding hands. Maybe you are kissing with a bit of hands going here, going there. Maybe stuff happens, that is not sex, but maybe some other stuff happens, right? That for him, he's gonna be like, okay, cool. Like, I know she just doesn't have sex straight away, but there's some interest there because we're doing things.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
That's different. But if you're like, we're not doing nothing.
Yeah.
I'll be like, nah, she's just not into it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially if they've talked about their previous experiences and history, especially if she has expressed that she's been physical with a guy a lot sooner, then he's gonna be like, well, if he didn't have to wait, why should I have to wait?
Yeah.
The reason you gave it to him is because clearly you were really into him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like for him, he associates it with the more you like a guy, the more you'll do that.
Yeah.
But the more you don't like a guy, i.e. you don't like me, then you're gonna make me wait 90 days.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do girls think about that?
I feel like women that follow that rule, they do it because they want to know the guy is fully invested in them, not just for the sexual part of it. And so withholding sex from them and them continuing to still date them shows that they are actually committed and invested into getting to know them. on a deeper level and not just a physical level.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which I kind of get.
I do get that. So here's where it might work for the kind of guy that maybe a woman would generally want. We're going conventionally, right? He might wait 90 days with her, but he's still sleeping with other people. Could she handle that? Or does she want him to not sleep with her or anyone else?
Yeah.
Because guys might do that. They might be like, okay, cool. Like, I am taking you seriously. But I'm still going to connect with other people physically. If you're okay with that, then I'm happy to wait.
But I think that technically should be fine because you aren't exclusive. So
that's very true.
Yeah.
How do you find having that exclusive conversation?
Well, I just find it a bit, I don't know. I think it's a bit of an awkward thing for a girl to bring up. I think, I don't know, just because I feel like the guy should be the one to be like, I want you to be my girlfriend. And it's kind of like, I don't know. It's just the whole like, them like actually asking you to be their girlfriend rather than the woman being like, so what are we? Because that's how it is. It's like, so what are we then? And it's just the awkward like, and then you're getting nervous because you're like, when's the right time to bring it up? And then you kind of just throw it out there and then and then I feel like a lot of guys do the whole, I like how things are going, like it's, you know, it's going at a good speed, let's just keep it as it is. But they won't actually outright say what they are, what this is.
This isn't every guy, but I definitely think this is definitely in the imperative in most men. The reason men commit isn't because they want to, it's because they have to. If guys could have the woman he wants, as in you're the woman I spend time with, you're the one that we've been in life together, but I'm free to be physical elsewhere as and when I want to be, a lot of guys would take that. But a lot of the reason why men will actually commit and be exclusive is because she's like, hey, for us to continue, this is the price. Are you willing to pay that for our relationship or aren't you? And if you want to, he'll be like, I'm willing to pay that price. But it's not because they want to. It's because they have to.
So what can you do to make a guy want to commit to you then? Like actually want to?
Sure. One of the ways is to add value to his life in ways that are meaningful to him. Right? So like, you know, for example, you know, did you bring him a new toothbrush? Because you just noticed, hey, I just noticed like, you've not changed your toothbrush past couple of months. So I got you a new one. He'll be like, oh, wow. Like maybe you add something to his home. So, hey, I brought you your sofa was looking a bit bare. So I just got you a couple of cushions. Let me know if you like them. Or I brought you a scented candle just to like bring some aroma. He'll be like, oh, wow. Like this woman's actually contributed to my life. And like, it's because the thing is a lot of guys experience, and we hear a lot, girls saying like, a guy has to do this for me, has to do this for me, has to do this, like he has to pay for me, has to pick me up, has to do this stuff. And so a lot of guys will be like, so, but this is a partnership, right? Like, do you want to contribute to my life in any way? Because the thing is, let's just be honest, as a woman, you're not just choosing a guy because he's nice. You're choosing a guy because he elevates your life in some way.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right? He adds value to your life. Okay. That's why guys choose women. Because she adds value to his life in some ways.
Right, noted. So I'll have to remember to buy cushions for the next guy I date.
Do it.
Noted.
Or like, for example, like, you know, if he's a man who's on a purpose, you know, he's got a mission in terms of that, like get to know him. Like, what is his purpose? What is his mission? So like I've had it before where, you know, with an ex-girlfriend of mine, this was before we made it official. We've been dating for a few months. And obviously she knew I did YouTube and connect with people. She's like, hey, there's this networking event. There's someone there I think you should really meet. And I was like, okay.
Right.
And I met that person. And then that other event was actually where I also met Ollie as well.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah.
And I was like, because I saw this picture, I was like, I need to talk to this guy and connect with him. And that was like, rah, like this is a woman who wants to support my mission because when I win, she wins. Yeah. Because if I'm doing great, you're the person I'm spending it on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
So especially if you want us to provide for you in that sense, if you can help a guy in that, then he's going to be like, this woman is invaluable.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time, because sometimes we'll see like attractive, successful guys and people make judgments, but he'll be with a woman who she's attractive, but she's not like conventionally the most attractive out there.
Yeah.
And a lot of women will be like, how did she get him? How did she get him? That's why.
Right.
Because she does those things.
Yeah.
Whereas guys experience.
Yeah.
Women who are very attractive, they are so used to getting what they want purely because they're very attractive.
Yeah. No, I understand.
But then if you're with a guy who is used to attracting very beautiful women, that's not going to be enough for him to be like, I want to commit my future to you. It's who's the woman that's going to add value to his life, because he's like, I'm adding to your life. And so if we're going to do this together, like, I'm going to play a role in your life. What role you do want to play in mine?
Yeah.
And that's what makes a guy goes, this is the girl I want. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Now, I'll say in regards to having that conversation, I always say, you never ask the question, what are we?
How do you ask it then?
So you don't ask the question, you express a standard. Yeah. The reason you don't ask, oh, what are we, is because you give him all the agency to decide what this is. So that's why he'll be like, yeah, we're just going with the flow. Like, I'm just really enjoying how this is going, etc.
Yeah.
Whereas I think what serves you as a woman more is if you go, hey, I'm really enjoying where this is going, right? But it's got to the point for me that in order for this to continue, I need to know that we're exclusive.
Yeah.
Now, if you're not ready for that, that's absolutely fine. That means I need to take a step back from this. And you make him make a decision.
Yeah.
Right? And you have to be prepared to take a step back. Now, take a step back doesn't mean you cut him off.
Yeah.
But maybe, ladies, I'm giving you the tea here. Maybe you spend time with him, but you don't sleep with him.
Yeah.
Anymore. So like, I'm happy to spend time with you, etc. But if we're not exclusive, I'm not comfortable sleeping with you anymore.
Yeah.
And then he'll be like, okay, shit, like, she's serious.
Yeah. That's a good,
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's a good one, yeah.
And the last bit of tea I'll give is there's something I call the window of opportunity, which is when's the right time to do that, right? Because if you do it too soon, guys might be like, I met you 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, it's a bit much.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know you.
Yeah.
But if you do it like 4 or 5 months down the line, it's like, it's a situationship at that point, or it's like a friends with benefits at that point, and it's just less likely to become something serious.
Yeah.
So I always say that the window of opportunity is anywhere between 4 to 10 weeks from when you started sleeping together regularly.
Right. Okay.
I'd say.
Yeah.
That's the window.
Okay.
Because you started being intimate, so he knows he wants this.
Yeah.
But he's not had enough that he's willing to walk away from it yet. And that's when you as a woman have all the leverage to then say, if this is going to move forward, I need this commitment. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Hope you really enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full episode where that clip is from, then I want you to click right here where you can watch the full episode. And if you're ready to claim your man today, enroll in my program below, and I'll see you there. Wishing you an amazing day.